Hello vinyl community, this is Mike with TCAT's Deep Vinyl Tracks. I'm putting out another video as far as recent vinyl finds and some CD finds that I found in the last week. First of all, I'll go through the CDs. These are all CDs that I found at secondhand stores for anywhere from $1 to $2. Nothing more than that. First of all, Michael Franti and Spearhead, All Rebel Rockers. I've heard a lot about this artist and his band, and thought I would check this CD out. Blue Oyster Cult's Extraterrestrial Live. I've never owned this album. I'm a big Blue Oyster Cult fan, and used to be you could find their albums everywhere. So when I had to sell their albums, I thought I'd be able to collect them again quite easily. It's not been that easy after all. So a couple of Depeche Mode 12-inch singles, I guess you would call them. This one is Enjoy the Silence. It has different versions of Enjoy the Silence, and then a couple of more tracks. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tracks in all. So it doesn't really become a 12-inch single, I don't think, when you get that many, even though there are 6 versions of Enjoy the Silence on here. I've heard this one before, and really like the different versions presented. And this is another one, Personal Jesus. This one has 8 tracks on it. 6 of those tracks are, no, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those tracks are different versions of Personal Jesus. And then there are 3 versions of the song Dangerous. This is a real cool funk and soul compilation. Funk Soul Brothers and Sisters, it says below that. Starring, well, you can see the 16 great funk classics, including Curtis Mayfield, James Brown, Funkadelic, Sly Stone. There's the track listing. Pretty fun little compilation. James Brown doing Cold Sweat, Funkadelic, Not Just Knee Deep Part 1, Curtis Mayfield, Freddie's Dead, Mavis Staples, Coochie Coochie Coochie, The Last Poets, When the Revolution Comes, Aaron Neville, Hercules, The Meters, Hand Clapping Song, Sly Stone doing Can't Nickname the Truth, Gil Scott-Heron and Brian Jackson doing The Bottle, The Ohio Players doing Trespassing, Earth, Wind and Fire in the Stone, First Choice, Armed and Extremely Dangerous, Maceo and All the King's Men, Funky Women, Lightning Rod with Kool and the Gang, Sport, Joe Tex, You Said a Bad Word, and Bobby Womack, Across 110th Street Part 2. Nice compilation. I've been looking for this particular band for different albums from them. This is the Waterboys, Dream Harder. No idea what this sounds like, but and I don't think I've ever seen this album from them before, so I thought I would grab that one when I seen it. And a really cool soundtrack from The Godfather. Of course, everybody loves The Godfather, anybody that loves movies. And this is the soundtrack from that. Okay. So I placed an order with Place and Discogs. And I was going to have this ready and I didn't. Here we go. This place is out of San Diego, California. A place called A Roundabout Records. And the reason I ordered from them, got a little letter, I guess, that comes along with it, talking about their company, and a little advertisement for Stereo Unlimited, where they build sound systems, also in San Diego. So I ordered from them because they had some records that I really wanted, and they had them at really good prices. And I messaged the owner of the company. He was a really gracious person, made things work out, and knowing that I lived in Canada, when the price ended up being a lot more than what Discogs was quoting, he was able to work with the price that Discogs quoted. So I thank him very much for that. Very nice guy to work with. All of his records came in outer sleeves, plastic outer sleeves, really nice. But anyway, a couple of these are brand new, and one of them is this Grateful Dead, American Beauty. I mentioned on a previous video that I'm trying to collect all the Grateful Dead possible, and this one came up at a really good price. It's the 50th anniversary edition, collector's edition of the Essential album on 180 gram vinyl, the crown jewel of the Dead studio output. It has this really cool Grateful Dead sticker up in the corner here. And it's on Warner Records. Not Warner Brothers, but Warner Records, so it looks similar to the old Warner Brothers label, which I'm sure it's all the same. So, American Beauty. When I talked to the owner of the company, he said they were trying to make some space and offered me a free classical record of my choice. So I picked out this box set. Like I had said previously, being a pianist, I love solo piano, and this is the complete works of solo piano from Maurice Ravel, one of my favorite composers of all time. I love playing his music, though it's very technically very difficult. This offers every single thing that he was written for solo piano. I love the way Ravel's music moves. He's one of my favorite composers, and in his music, I just love the way it moves around, and it almost emulates like the moving of the waves on the ocean, or the moving of the wind across different landscapes. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I just love the way it flows and everything. Anyway, so this is a 3-record box set, and on the inside we've got, again, a listing of all the music and the 3 records on Columbia Masterworks. The pianist for this is Philippe Entremont, but there are 2 tracks on here that have Dennis Lee on piano, so most of it is him. And trying to collect a lot more classical. This is one that I'm glad to have. Big old write-up on the back of the box set tells about the composer and the pianists. So really happy to have that, and that's going to be a great addition to my collection. Those of you who know me know I collect a lot of the Warner Brothers reprise loss leaders. So I got a couple of those that I was having a real hard time finding, and I was glad to see that he had these. So the first one is Deep Ear. Kind of probably the strangest cover, and there are a bunch of strange covers in this series of records, the Lost Leaders series. This one is one of the later ones to come out, so it doesn't have the booklet, but it has the write-up of all the different tracks inside the gatefold. It tells a little bit about each of the artists, but you got some great music on here, like from Elvin Bishop, The Traveling Shoes, Little Feat, Spanish Moon, Ry Cooder's Tattler, America, Tin Man, Randy Newman's on here, Wet Willie, Bonnie Raitt, Jesse Colin Young, lots of great artists on this one. And this one I'm really excited about, another one of the Lost Leaders. This is one of the last ones, called Troublemakers. And this one centers, well, it comes from 1980, I believe. So it centers on punk bands and some of the early new wave bands. There's the back of it. There's the inside. Now this one has a lot more multi-tracks, which a lot of the Lost Leader collections didn't have. So many of the artists on here don't just have one track, but have two tracks. We've got Anarchy in the USA and No Fun from the Sex Pistols. The Urban Verbs are on here. Robin Lane and the Chartbusters. Wire. Marianne Faithfull has a couple of tracks. John Cale has a couple of tracks. Gang of Four has just one track from the looks of this. Devo, Public Image Limited, the Bugles have two tracks. Of course, the Bugles come from a couple of people, Trevor Horn and Downs is the last name, I don't know what the first name is, who became Yes for the album Drama. They've got two tracks on here under the Bugles. Nico is on here. Gang of Four, Public Image Limited has two tracks. This one's just full of great early punk, well, not early punk, but early new wave, but a lot of punk artists on there too, so pretty cool. That's a really hard one to find, so I was really happy to find that one. And last of all, finally got this copy of Kid Amnesia. This is a combination of the albums Kid A and Amnesia by Radiohead. Ever since this came out, probably about a year ago, I've been wanting to get it, and I can never quite get enough together to merit getting it. And I've just watched the price go up and up and up until I've decided that it was going to be impossible. Brand new copy, still got the shrink. And it's a double gatefold because there are 3 LPs on this. And so the first two are Kid A and Amnesia. The third disc is all of the outtakes and everything from the sessions that they recorded these songs. Now the songs on both of these albums come from the same sessions. Kid A was released, they put out that album, kept a lot of other songs, and put them on their next album, Amnesia. Kind of a more experimental sound for Radiohead. These were the 2 albums that came out after OK Computer. And they ventured into a lot of electronic sounds, a lot of interesting sounding music, and their fans really didn't know how to take it. That's what the labels look like. A lot of people still have a hard time with this music, but I tell you, I just love this. Very progressive sounding, more, like I said, electronic, though there are other instruments on there besides just keyboards. A lot of processed sounds on this album, on both of these albums. But I know what I'm getting into when I got these. I heard a lot of people say that, tread carefully, but I'm really familiar with Radiohead's music. I've heard all of their music for quite a while. I just never had it on vinyl. So this was one I was really excited to get. It's really cool artwork on the inner sleeves, as you can see. All the labels are black, like I just showed you on the first one. So to me, this was a grail. Now, the wonderful thing about this, and it was the main reason I ended up ordering from A Roundabout Records, was because, like I said, the price was going up and up and up on that particular set. And I pretty much decided that I wasn't going to be able to get it, but then I finally found a copy of this, brand new, really good price, even lower than it had been when the album was when the album was released. I couldn't believe the price on it, and so I jumped on it, and I know I'll order from these guys again. Just a great place, and I would suggest you go in and check them out. Great prices. Like I said, the owner is really good to work with. Go check them out and see. It's always worth your while. And the time was, the mailing time was very quick. Now, I had it mailed over to the U.S. address, so that helped out some. I know things crossing the border into Canada can take a lot longer, but a lot of people there that live in the U.S. Should go check them out and see what they've got. So anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and we will talk to you all later.